Hi, my name is Logan. I'm a teacher and I wear the hear.com hearing aids. I don't think I was the one that noticed my hearing loss first as much as maybe the people in my life and the people around me. So I would often get comments from friends and family that they had to repeat themselves a lot. I was constantly leaning into people in conversation in loud restaurants or in loud environments. I was definitely leaning towards people and struggling to keep up with conversation. And then there was one night when I was sitting outside with some friends and they were all talking about how loud the cicada bugs were that night. And they were they couldn't believe it. They'd never heard them so loud. And I was sat there I don't hear anything. So they couldn't believe it. They were like, what do you mean? They're screaming. So they're like, shh, let's listen. And I couldn't hear anything. So that was the day that I was like, maybe I should go get my hearing tested. And I definitely thought I was being proactive about it. I didn't think I'd be at this stage where I would need hearing aids. And then when I got my hearing tested and I saw the significance of my hearing loss, I was honestly really surprised. And it wasn't until I put my first pair of hearing aids in that I realized just how much I was actually missing from my life and everything around me. So it was quite an eye-opening experience, actually. And I'm really grateful for that night with my friends and those cicada bugs for pushing me to get my hearing tested. Okay, 3 words. I think I was initially I thought everyone was in on a prank or something because I'm I'm the only person that can hear these. So maybe surprised. And then I was confused as well because I've heard cicada bugs my whole childhood. These are really popular in the area that I live in. So yeah, maybe surprised because I knew it's a sound that I had in the past. And I don't want to say necessarily worried, but maybe a little maybe worried a bit. What's going on here? I think I didn't realize how much hearing loss was affecting my life until I got a pair of hearing aids. There were so many sounds in my everyday life that I was missing, whether it was the beeping of my appliances, the clarity in people's voices, the sound of birds in the morning. That was something that I couldn't hear without my hearing aids, and just sounds that I forgot I had lost. So yeah, I think it wasn't until I got my hearing aids that I realized how much it was affecting my life. And now that I am wearing hearing aids, I can see that a full day at work was something that was really mentally exhausting with my hearing loss. And I don't experience that so much anymore with my hearing aids. Yeah, it has definitely benefited those in my life. It's actually funny when maybe I forget to put them in one morning, people notice right away, are you wearing your hearing aids? Because it's a very noticeable difference from how much people have to repeat themselves, or I have to make sure that someone's facing me directly when they're speaking to me to make sure I catch everything. So yeah, 3 words, how the Horizon IX changed my life. I would say I feel more confident at work and in social settings. So I know I'm not gonna miss a beat, and I'm not focusing so much on hearing. I can just focus on being present. The second word I would use is maybe in tune. So it's really nice whenever I go outside, especially when I first put my hearing aids in, to rediscover all the sounds that I was missing, whether that be the birds or the swishing of clothing fabric, just really small things that you don't realize you're missing until they come back. And then my last one would just be happy. I'm really happy with my hearing aids, and I love waking up in the morning and knowing that I can put them in and don't have to worry about hearing all day. Yes, I do know other people in my life who have a hearing loss. On my maternal side, we have a long history of hearing loss in my family. So I grew up with aunts and uncles and grandparents with hearing loss. Typically, the older generation, I didn't have anyone in my family who was my age that was experiencing hearing loss. And my brother also has a hearing loss. So yeah, there's a few people in my family. I would say obviously my day-to-day life before and after hearing aids is the exact same. And I think the only difference would be the confidence I'm able to navigate my life with now that I have hearing aids. So before I got my hearing aids, I don't think I realized how much I was struggling day to day. It's kind of something, I lost my hearing a little bit gradually over time. So the changes were so small, I didn't really notice I was losing my hearing until I put the hearing aids in, and I realized wow, what a difference this is making to my life. So yeah, now with the hearing aids, I'm definitely not missing out on as much as I did when I didn't wear my hearing aids. So yeah, I didn't have any concerns when I found out I was going to wear or I needed to wear hearing aids. I was more so surprised that my hearing loss was at a point where I would need hearing devices. And I know there's a lot of stigma around hearing aids for many, many people, and especially young people. It's not something that you think young people experience. You know, I think a lot of people have the stigma or the perception that, you know, hearing loss has an age around it, which isn't true. But no, I didn't feel any type of way. I just was like, oh, there's something out there that can help me at work and in my life, and, you know, be more present in my day-to-day life. Like, why wouldn't I want that? I think many people think it's a device that you can like see, and I think people are often surprised at how invisible they are. When I first told my friends that I had gotten hearing aids, they were like, oh, like, when do you get them? And I was like, I'm wearing them. They have no idea until I actually like take them out of my ear and show you. They're basically invisible. So I can take them out now and you can see just how small they are. So this piece sits right behind my ear, and with my hair and the color of it, it honestly blends right in. And then the receiver and the bit that goes in my ear is like so far in there, you can't really see anything. So they're like virtually invisible unless I have my hair up and you're staring at the back of my head, you won't see anything. So my favorite feature that I have with my Horizon IX hearing aids is the directional hearing feature. When I first got them in and the audiologist showed me, I was like blown away at this technology, but it's super cool. And I call it my party trick when I'm out with friends. So for example, if I'm out at a loud restaurant, my hearing aids are doing their best job to pick up on voices and amplify them for me. But they don't know that, you know, the person at the table next to me, I'm not out for dinner with. So there's this really cool feature. It's like a 360-degree view, and I can just tap either in front of me or beside me, whoever I want to focus on their voice, and you can really narrow it down. It goes right down to the degree, which is really cool. And what that's doing is the hearing aids are only focusing on those voices in front of me, and kind of ignoring that background noise for me. So it's really, really, really cool. And this allows me, when I'm out in a loud environment, to not miss out on conversation. And with my hearing aids, they connect wirelessly, so via Bluetooth, to my phone, which means I can listen to music, I can take phone calls. My friends joke that whenever I answer a phone call on my hearing aids in front of them, that I'm like a spy. Because you can't see my hearing aids, it often looks like I'm just talking to myself. But that's okay, because it's super convenient to be able to pick up a phone call hands-free, and it just goes right into my ear. And I know people who call me and I tell them, oh, I'm talking about my hearing aids. They're always so impressed at how clear even I sound. So they do a really good job at not only putting the sound in my ears, but also picking up on my voice and sending it to them. So yeah, we like to play around with that feature sometimes.